My wife fell deep into conspiracy theories and online hate groups. Is there any saving our marriage? I, 36M, have been married to my wife, 34F, for 6 years. We have a 4-year-old daughter, and I really do not want a divorce, but I am starting to feel like I have run out of options. When we first met, my wife was a kind, brilliant, and outgoing person. Over the past few years, she has changed in ways that truly scare me. She has become deeply involved in online conspiracy spaces and online hate groups, and now spends hours every day scrolling and arguing online. It feels like she is living in a completely different reality. She has not held a stable job in about 3 years. She will take on part-time work, but it usually ends with her quitting or getting fired after a few months. Meanwhile, I have become the sole provider and have also taken on most of the parenting responsibilities. Our daughter loves her mom, but my wife often seems distracted or disengaged, and it breaks my heart to see that. Another issue is that she has become increasingly racist over time. It started as an obsessive dislike of a certain celebrity, but it has turned into outright racist comments, particularly toward women of color. She has lost several friendships because of this, and even her family has started to distance themselves from her. They still check in on me and our daughter, but they have made it clear that they do not know how to reach her anymore. I have begged her to try therapy. She did attend therapy for a few months once, and for a short time I saw glimpses of the person she used to be. However, she quit, and everything went back to the way it was before. I am emotionally exhausted and deeply worried about the environment our daughter is growing up in. I do not want her picking up these beliefs or thinking that this level of disconnection is normal. That said, I am also terrified of what a divorce might do to my wife. I have always believed in trying everything before walking away, and I do not want to feel like I gave up too soon. That is why I am considering asking my wife to go to couples therapy. Maybe she would be more open to it if it is not just focused on her. My question is, how do I even bring this up? Would it be wrong to tell her that I am considering divorce if she refuses? I do not want it to sound like a threat, I just want her to understand how serious things have become. I love her and want to believe there is still a way forward, but I cannot keep doing this by myself. If anyone has been in a similar situation with a partner who has fallen deep into conspiracy theories or become resistant to therapy, how did you approach it? I really want to try everything I can before making such a painful decision. Update 1, I will try to keep this update short. I want to say thank you to everyone who took the time to comment and message me. Some of you helped me accept a reality I had been avoiding for a long time. My soon-to-be ex-wife was not going to get better, and I had to act to protect my daughter. I also want to specifically thank those who pointed me to the QAnon Casualties subreddit. Reading other family stories and seeing how similar the patterns were was incredibly validating. It helped me understand that this was not something I could love or wait my way out of. I took the advice of several commenters and began documenting my ex's neglect of our daughter, her racism, and her extreme beliefs. I also reached out to a divorce lawyer. As advised, I checked our joint bank accounts and discovered that she had been withdrawing large sums of money from a joint account we opened early in our marriage for family vacations, and that we had discussed using to eventually set up a college fund for our daughter when she was born. When I confronted her, she initially denied taking the money. When I demanded that she show me where the money went, she went on a long rant about creating a better world. She admitted that she had donated money to organizations like Turning Point USA, claiming they would create better schools and keep kids safe. She had also spent a significant amount of money on designer handbags, shoes, and clothing that she had hidden from me. The most shocking part was that she was also being scammed by someone she met through a royal gossip subreddit who claimed to have hired a private investigator to expose Meghan Markle. Apparently, this person would send her negative articles about Meghan Markle and claim that the private investigator had uncovered this information and sent it to the press. My wife would then send more money. She told me all of this as if it were completely reasonable and saw nothing wrong with it. When I told her I was filing for divorce, she initially thought I was joking. Then she exploded, began throwing things, and ranted about me breaking up the family. A glass cup she threw hit me in the head. I left the house bleeding and went to my neighbor's home, where they called the police. By the time the police arrived, she had trashed the kitchen, and she was arrested after I explained what had happened. I applied for and was granted a domestic violence restraining order, along with temporary custody of my daughter. My wife currently has supervised visitation only. She is facing a misdemeanor criminal charge related to the domestic battery incident, which is being handled in criminal court alongside the ongoing divorce proceedings. She is currently living with a former coworker, and her family has reached out to express support for me and my daughter. I am in the middle of divorce proceedings, and my lawyer believes I have a strong case for sole custody. This is not how I ever imagined things ending, but I am grateful that I listened to the advice here when I did. My priority now is my daughter's safety, stability, and emotional well-being. Thank you to everyone who helped push me to act. Final update, I wanted to come back and thank this community for the support it gave me when I asked for advice dealing with my conspiracy theorist soon-to-be ex-wife a few months ago. Reading through posts here helped me recognize how serious my situation had become and accept that my former partner was not going to get better on her own. After recognizing similar patterns in other people's stories of their QAnon family members, I began documenting my ex's neglect of our daughter, her racism and extreme beliefs, and reached out to a divorce lawyer. While doing so, I discovered she had been draining a joint account we had intended for family expenses and eventually our daughter's education. She had donated money to organizations like Turning Point USA, purchased designer clothes, and was being scammed by someone she met on a Royals gossip subreddit who exploited her obsession with Meghan Markle. When I told her I was filing for divorce, she became violent. She was arrested and charged with domestic battery. I was granted a domestic violence restraining order, temporary custody of my daughter, and supervised visitation for my ex. I am currently in the middle of divorce proceedings, and my lawyer believes I have a strong case for sole custody. When I was first directed to this sub, I was still in a bit of denial over my ex's behavior. I made excuses such as saying she wasn't fully QAnon, and I was hopeful you all would have some answer to help her change. Thank you for helping me see I needed to let go of her for the well-being of my daughter and myself.